Sort of off topic. This is the segment of the show where one of us is obsessed with something and then we have to tell the other one very quickly or we will ruin the surprise.
Mm-hmm. And then perish.
Yeah. I'm Janie.
I'm Max.
And Max. I'm so ready to tell you this.
I'm very excited.
I spent all last night giggling so manically.
I was here, I know.
Yeah, and I'm just very excited to tell you about this. Oh, this is my wildest dreams come true, and also it makes me want to punch through a wall. It's so stupid. Okay, you know what? And with that, let's just roll the theme. Welcome to Sort of Off Topic. This is my beautiful and talented and very smart friend named Max, and you better fucking respect her.
And this is Janie, my non-romantic life partner, who I would kill or die for 1,000 times over. And if you can't respect her, then you can't respect me. And if you can't respect me, you better get ready for a knuckle sandwich, baby.
Okay, Max.
Janie.
Today I'm going to talk to you about Operation Mongoose. That's a real thing.
All right.
Are you ready?
I had to take a second. My mind had to chew on it. And now I'm ready to continue.
Mongoose. Just know a man came up with that title. It's so stupid. So my sources are from a truly brilliant Atlantic article called Operation Mongoose, the story of America's efforts to overthrow Castro and how they helped seal America's fate in Vietnam. We're going from the Cuban Missile Crisis. We're going from South Vietnam to the Cuban Missile Crisis to the Vietnam War today.
Oh.
In the stupidest way possible. This article is adapted from Max Boot's book. It's an article by Max Boot. Max Boot. They wrote a book called The Road Not Taken, Edward Lansdale and the American Tragedy in Vietnam. And I also got a bunch of stuff from History.com, so let's just get into it.
I love using History.com as a source. I also used it for the Molasses Flood episode, but it just sounds so official to be like, I actually got this from the official website of History.
History is going to repeat itself today. Okay, so Edward Lansdale, right? At the beginning of the Kennedy administration, we're talking like very early 60s, like 1960.
That's the earliest.
That's the earliest you can possibly get in the 1960s. At the time, he was considered a heroic covert action specialist. He was frequently called the American James Bond. He played the harmonica. He had movies written based on his life story. He was actually kind of hot, and I forgot to bring up a picture, so I'm going to bring up a picture. Tell me if you would hit it. This is where we're starting. You don't know anything about him, so... Edward Lansdale. The last thing I googled was Edward Lansdale harmonica. That's what he looked like later in his career.
Smash.
Right? He's weirdly hot. I don't think he looks like an actor either.
I think he does.
Got kind of wide set eyes.
I think he looks like a specific actor.
Got a square head.
He kind of looks like, what's his name? Not Jason Statham, the other Jason. Jason Sudeikis.
He kind of looks like he could be Jason Sudeikis' father.
Yeah.
This is a handsome man. Okay, so that's Edward Lansdale.
Also, there are only 2 Jasons.
And Jason Mantzoukas, my husband.
Oh, fuck. There are 3 Jasons. Mantzoukas, Statham, and the other one.
And Momoa.
Oh, fuck.
There's a lot of Jasons. There's so many.
Wait, hang on. 5. Jason Stackhouse.
Jason Stackhouse.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I love that Jason also lives in our mind as a real person.
He's real to me.
He's real. Don't say that. It was real. Okay, so in the early 1950s, he had kind of gained acclaim after he had taken down the Hook Rebellion. It was a communist uprising in Vietnam. H-U-K. Hook. Also, there's the Vietnamese word specifically. I am gonna try my darndest.
So after he went after Captain Hook.
He went after Captain Hook. That meddling kid. And he helped get his personal friend, Defense Minister Ramon Magsaysay, elected president. So, like, he was in Vietnam with the CIA. He helped kind of infiltrate this rebellion. I don't know if he infiltrated it, but, like, he helped quash it. And then he got his friend elected president of Vietnam. So he's meddling in politics, right? But he's like, I think this is the best way to do this. America, of course, has to have a say-so in what's happening in Vietnam in the 1950s. Then he went to Saigon in 1954, and he became friends with Ngo Dinh Diem and helped him solidify his power. Ngo Dinh Diem had served as president of Vietnam from 1955 when, again, this guy had decided to meddle, and then he had kind of a rough end. I'll get into that later. So, Lansdale, he's a huge proponent of attacking an enemy psychologically. He was like, I'm not super into extreme military force and like big shows of power. I think we can just go in, start talking to the right people and get them to do what we want, or we can scare them psychologically. I think that's a better course of action if we're going to be meddling. I'm not saying any of this to make it seem like I think Edward Lansdale is the hero. I don't think he's the hero. I don't think the U.S. government is the hero in most instances. That being said, he's an interesting man, and I'm obsessed with him now. So again, American James Bond. JFK, after all this happened, began to turn to him quite a bit for advice on what to do in Vietnam, because he's like, you know how to deal with counterinsurgencies. You obviously have a lot of like pull and sway in Vietnam. People know you and recognize you. Like, you know, how do I deal with this? So he also played the harmonica. I mentioned that. And he's hot. So.
And that's the two things you need for politics.
Unofficial coolest man in America. What is it? Bill Clinton played the saxophone, right? Like.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, can I take you home?
What if Bill Clinton played the trumpet? I don't know why that would be not sexy.
What if he played the tuba?
He goes on. And everyone's like, that's my president. Okay, so 1961, we're taking it way back, marks the beginning of the end of Edward Lansdale's career as a celebrated secret agent, which I think is an oxymoron.
It definitely is. That's a jumbo shrimp situation.
100. You're not allowed to be a celebrated secret agent. Okay, so I want you to picture it. It's 1959. A young, hot rebel named Fidel Castro has seized power in Cuba.
So far, I've already pictured
100%.
many
I
times
have
before.
pictured it multiple times. His policy is largely anti-American. He attacked American companies, including casinos, oil refineries, factories. He nationalized them in 1960 without giving any compensation to the Americans that owned them. He was like, no, get out. And then he basically kicked everyone out that wasn't Cuban, or that was specifically American. I know.
I'm not mad about it.
Not mad. This prompted the U.S. to put up a trade embargo in 1960, which is still in place today, even though in 2014, the Obama administration made it a big deal. They were like, you know, we're going to start easing the travel restrictions, so now we can have, like, more contact with Cuba, and more people can, like, come in and out, but the trade embargo still stands, which I didn't know. I thought he had gotten rid of that. But Castro's regime did some really positive things, right? So I'll go to those first. He reduced illiteracy by building schools, and he brought electricity to the countryside, which really helped spread knowledge. He all but stamped out racism, according to History.com, which seems suspicious to me.
Yeah.
And he also improved public health care, and he did a lot of much-needed improvements, and he had a lot of support. However, he wasn't big on economic or political freedom, and at first, my skeptical mind is like, yeah, that the U.S. probably was like, you're not into political freedom, or we're in your politics? Why not? But Fidel Castro was known for closing down opposition newspapers and jailing political opponents, like, by the thousands. And he declared himself basically dictator for life. He was like, no more elections, I'm it. So, not good.
I mean, in fairness, like the, what's it called? Like, if I could close down Breitbart, done. I know it's not necessarily ethical, but that's no quandary for me.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, but he's
it depends, I guess, on, like, anything, what opposition news is.
Everything, not Fox News, gets closed down. So he publicly declares himself a Marxist-Leninist in 1961, and he becomes dependent on the Soviet Union for economic and military support. Because at this point, he has cut all ties to the United States, meaning he needs to get support from somewhere. He decides to go to the Soviet Union. Also not great.
Not ideal.
Okay, so I started with the positives, but really Castro, not a hero. In 1962, the U.S. discovered nuclear weapons stationed in Cuba about 90 miles off the coast of Florida, and there was an intense 13-day standoff called the Cuban Missile Crisis. At the end of this crisis, the Soviet leader, President Nikita Khrushchev, agrees to remove the nukes against Castro's wishes. You know, he's like, fine, I'll take our nukes out. In return, you take your nukes out of Turkey. And the U.S. is like, you drive a hard bargain. We didn't know you knew about those. Okay. It's like, fucking what? And Castro is left out of those negotiations because he's like, no, the nukes stay. Also, maybe fire them? What if we just fired them on Florida?
I'm actually very familiar with this crisis because there's a movie about it. It was famously depicted in X-Men First Class. So it's actually interesting that, you know, that's what they said that the crisis was about, but it was actually about Magneto.
I think I read that on history.com.
Yep.
We know history.
But continue.
Okay, so they wanted Castro out real bad. The U.S. wanted to kill Castro so much, it seems like we had a crush on him. Like, the more I read, the more I was like, guys, this is embarrassing. Be cool.
The U.S. is homoerotically tipping Fidel Castro's head back with the tip of its sword.
Oh, so hot.
Yep.
So, in 1961... they come up with a little plan called the Bay of Pigs invasion. I'm jumping around in dates just to show you how wild this is, but this cracked me up so bad. Because I've never looked up the Bay of Pigs. I never have. I've always heard of it. I didn't know what it was, so I'm about to tell you if you also don't really know the full details.
I do know some of the details, but the only reason I do is because there is a
movie called X-Men First Class.
No, there is an area, I think it's in Japan, because all these weird animal islands are in Japan, but there's an area where you can swim with all these wild pigs, and my baby brother, loved pigs when he was younger.
Me too.
And he was like, I want to go swim in the place where the pigs can swim in the ocean with you. And I was like, oh, the Bay of Pigs? And my mom was like, no, that's not the Bay of Pigs.
No.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's not that.
It's the Bay of Pigs. No, you were right. Okay, so... during the Bay of Pigs invasion, this is so stupid. The CIA took 1,200 Cuban refugees, right? And they were like, let's train them how to do karate. So they train them, and then they arm them with American weapons. Then they put them in American boats, and they send them back to Cuba. They're like, do it. You have our full support. Not, like, publicly, but, go! We got you. The goal was they wanted Cuban citizens to see this and be like, oh, if they're fighting, we're fighting. And then everybody, the whole country is like, let's kill Castro. And then everybody gets on board in, like, this big triumphant, like, unifying moment. Mm-hmm. And then they elect, I guess, JFK president of Cuba. And so this is what their goal was. These 1,200 Cuban refugees, who have been, again, trained and armed by the U.S. military, or by the CIA, they wade to shore, and immediately Cuba's military is just, like, waiting on the shore, and then just, like, squashes them like bugs. Like, no. They were not expecting the Cuban military to be this fast at reacting, but they had been sailing across, and Cuba's like, we see them from the shore. All right, well, they just line up, guys. And so as they're wading, literally just wading through the water, they're just shooting them down as they come in. Jesus. They kill 100 of the men, and then they take about 1,100 of them prisoner. And Castro, within, like, not a long amount of time. It's embarrassingly quick how, like, they were just like, guys, 1,100 men against the whole Cuban military? This is a bad plan. Even we think this is a bad plan.
Oh my God.
So Castro then uses this attack to publicly declare, like, hey, the U.S. is fucking with us. Just so you know, all these weapons are American. All the ships are American. These guys came back speaking English and telling us America did this. They're not the good guys. And so this gets a bunch of people in Cuba that were previously against Castro. This gets them on his side. And then all around, like, Latin American countries, everyone was like, that sucks. The U.S. needs to stop fucking meddling. That was so shitty. Look at how many people they got killed. And so then everyone else starts to turn against the U.S. And the plan backfires so catastrophically. It's embarrassing. So this is also what what Castro used to get more aid from the Soviet Union. And this is how he was able to set up all those missiles around the country pointing at Florida. And this started the Cuban Missile Crisis. This big deal, a huge failure. This made me laugh so hard. Kennedy publicly takes the blame for this. He's like, listen, I need to redeem myself. So he does what we've never seen in our lifetime, at least. Mm-hmm. A male political figure stood up in front of the country and said, this was all my fault. I am so sorry. This was a bad plan. It made him... I'm sure everyone was like, that was really brave of you. But also it made him look really young because he was our youngest president, mm-hmm. and also made him look way too vulnerable. And everyone was like, oh, now we're kind of on Castro's side.
Oh,
like,
no.
Good God. Okay.
Wasn't he also the first Catholic president?
He was. And, okay, so...
And he's a Catholic.
And he's a Catholic? Okay, so I've heard this before, that when Kennedy was elected... the whole country was like, we can't have a Catholic president, which made no sense to me because I grew up Catholic. And I was like, I mean, we don't really do much except for, like, I guess drink wine and not read the Bible all the time. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. We're not like a super, but we are, because Kennedy's whole administration was just full of nepotism. Like, I'm going to mention, like, at least 3 different relatives of his in very high positions. And I'm like, ooh. Uh-oh. So they bring in Edward Lansdale after all of this, right? Like, things have gone spectacularly bad. And they're like, bring in the American James Bond. And he comes in playing his harmonica. And he's like, boys. God, he's so hot. And they tell him, you only have one job. One little job. Take down Fidel Castro. And he's like, the thing that you guys have been failing at spectacularly and publicly? And they're like, yeah. And then they also tell him, and do it fast because we're kind of tired of waiting. So, like, the audacity to bring him in and say, we need this done as quick as possible. No excuses. Thank you.
What the fuck?
So, they choose him because, specifically, he had opposed the Bay of Pigs invasion. He was like, guys, this is so stupid. And then it failed, and they were like, that's our guy. He's the one that could have stopped this. And he's like, by having any sort of logic, don't train refugees in karate. I also have to preface, I don't think they trained him in karate, but it's funnier.
Oh my God. You said it, and I was like, I can't tell if this is a joke. And then you continued and didn't act like it was a joke. And I was like, oh my God, was that not a joke?
They trained them in karate. I don't think they did, but wouldn't it be funny?
I wish they had.
This is why I shouldn't be a history teacher. Everyone, don't listen to me. So, Lansdale, he's made chief of operations of an interagency task force known as the Caribbean Survey Group, soon to be designated, for cover purposes, Operation Mongoose. Caribbean Survey Group already seems pretty covert. That sounds like a travel agency.
Yeah. Why Mongoose?
Operation Mongoose. Classic, nothing to do with the Caribbean animal.
Huh, okay. Were they... I'm trying to puzzle this out, and I'm like, is it something about, like, a snake?
The whole point...
Is it a...
Yeah, but the whole point of these operation names are that they have nothing to do with the actual operation. I'm sure it was like, this was the letter, because before that, it was Operation Lemongrass or something. Operation Lollipop was a huge disaster.
I know 2 things about mongooses. Mongoose.
Mongoose.
One of them is that there's a really fun story about one of them called Rikki Tikki Tavi.
Yes, of course.
And the other thing is that they eat cobras.
That's badass.
Yeah, they are snake killers. Oh. So they're kept in a lot of places to, like, kill snakes.
Okay, so I bet this was...
Yeah.
The U.S., again, was... so obsessed with Fidel Castro, it was suspicious.
Yeah.
Like, I think the U.S. had a crush. And so, like, being, like, Operation Mongoose, because he's a snake, and then, like, doodling his name in their little, like, trapper keepers, makes sense.
Fidel, ugh, gross. Meanwhile, the U.S. is in there writing Mrs. President Castro.
Mrs. President Fidel Castro. Okay. So... the success of this task force relied on the State Department, the CIA, the U.S. Information Agency, the Defense Department, and other government agencies to voluntarily cooperate with each other. That's the only way it was going to succeed. What do you think?
Nope.
No.
I think that's a big ol' nope.
As we saw in 9/11, that literally has never worked in the U.S. ever and still continues to never work. Lansdale wrote 2 years after this ended, he wrote about this, and this is a quote. "It was the most frustrating damn thing I've ever tackled. I was given full responsibility for a U.S. effort, but had no say on disciplining or giving orders to U.S. personnel working in this effort. Most of these were state and CIA folks who made it plain to me that they hated my guts, so about once a week I would formally request relief from this duty and be told that this was unacceptable." He tried to quit every week. Also,
they were like, "Hey, hump day," and he was like, "Yeah, I quit." And they were like, "You don't.
We're gonna kill your family if you do."
Anyways, meeting in 5?
No! It reminds me of in The Good Place when they go to the accountant's office and they have the guy that's in charge of tallying all of the weird sex crimes, and he like pops his head up and he's like, "Hi, did you get my request for immediate suicide?" And they're like, "Request denied, Jerry." That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah.
So, oh God. Number 1, Attorney General Robert Kennedy. Nepotism in this administration is wild. He makes it his personal mission to end Castro's regime, right? Meaning that he wants to be fully involved in Operation Mongoose. So he's at every single meeting. And at every single meeting, he would make a point to put his fat fucking finger in Lansdale's face and say, "Failure is not an option." And also, "The president wants this done now. You're already late." And also, "Get the hell on with it." And Lansdale's like, "Dude, you guys have not been able to kill Castro yet. Everything you do is like a disaster. Stop pointing your finger in my face."
Good Lord.
Yeah, every time. So Lansdale's like, the pressure stacking up on this man who desperately just wants to like quit and move out of the country is wild.
The fact that, like, I don't understand what his motivation would be. Like, it's not like they can fire him, you know? Like...
Well, he's trying desperately to get them to fire him.
Yeah, but they're not going to.
No,
so
they're not
it's like,
going to.
I don't like the fact that everyone's like, "Look, you gotta do it, or else." It's like, or else what?
Or else what? Or they kill your family. So, the CI deputy's director, Marshall Carter, described his presence at these meetings as, quote, "the gnawing of an enraged rat terrier." Everybody hated Robert Kennedy. Okay, so Lansdale tells everyone that the only way he can see defeating Castro was to wage an all-out war. He's like, "Honestly, at this point, I'm the guy that always said we can attack psychologically, but psychologically, you guys are idiots. Just fucking send the military. If you genuinely want to stop fucking around, send the military."
Yeah, because nobody's going to trust anything that happens that isn't outright.
And everything that has happened so far, you're trying to be sneaky, and you are literally turning the whole world against you. At this point, send the goddamn military. Do it yourself. And again, I am not a proponent of any of this, but he's right. In this particular instance, just looking at this objectively, I'm like, I would also be super frustrated that they're trying to... I'm going to go into the plans they were pitching later. It's going to make you a little more sympathetic to Lansdale as a puzzle solver, not as a humanitarian.
Yeah.
I'm kind of afraid everyone's going to hear this and be like, "Janie, you have terrible policies. We didn't realize you were such a weird Republican when it comes to war." I'm really frustrated hearing how stupid they are.
Yeah.
They are so incompetent that at this point, genuinely just waging all-out war is the better plan.
They've already killed 100 innocent people.
Yes, right off the bat, but you know that those 1,100 people that were put in prison, not all of them made it. So, basically, they wanted Operation Mongoose to magically win a private war without using U.S. troops or calling attention to the U.S. at all. And it was failing. And Lansdale was like, "Fine, you know what? If you want a magical solution, here's a magical solution." And so, in 1975, we learn, during a Senate Church Committee in the U.S., CIA veteran Thomas Parrott detailed what these magical plans were to a truly incredulous committee. He testifies, Lansdale's proposal was to send a submarine to Cuba, fire star shells into the sky to convince Cubans, quote, that the second coming of Jesus Christ was imminent and that Christ was against Castro.
Sure.
Okay.
This is really great as a plan A.
yeah, this is the thing. He's like, let's just convince him that Ragnarok is here. And so...
Here's my plan. We rapture Cuba.
It's so fucking... I mean, again, so Lansdale is annoyed, right? He's like, I never said that. That wasn't my plan. You're not putting the shit on me. But after he died, a bunch of stuff became declassified real quick. And it turns out this is exactly his plan, almost word for word.
He's like, when you said it, it sounded silly, which is not what it sounded like when I said it.
So here's what it sounded like. By the way, everyone made fun of him. This, like, stuck to him so hard because after he proposed it, everyone in Operation Mongoose were like, he wants to do elimination by illumination. And then everyone, like, laughed really hard. So this is what the document said. They said that on October 15th, 1962, Lansdale wrote a memorandum on illumination by submarine, proposing they fire star shells from the submarine, okay, up into the Havana skies after dark on November 2nd, which is All Souls Day, to, quote, gain extra impact from Cuban superstitions. So it's the second coming of Jesus Christ. Like, he didn't say that outright, but that was his plan. He wrote it down. He also said beforehand they were going to spread a bunch of rumors that maybe Christ was mad at Cuba to get people really scared. So they were going to send in a bunch of, like, gossips to be like, did you hear that Jesus Christ is mad at Castro?
This fucking Looney Tunes ass plan.
Okay. You think this is a Looney Tunes plan? Because this is honestly the best one out of all of the other ones that have been proposed. This sounds weird, but it's not the weirdest one that the U.S. proposed. Here are a couple
Wait, hang on. Is that the whole plan?
That's the whole plan. There's no...
They're trying to turn public opinion against Castro by pretending that the world is ending?
There is no ending to this plan. It's just, let's do a Hail Mary, literally. And so everyone was like, no. We're not gonna do this weird Bible plan you have. Okay, but that's not the weirdest one, okay? Honestly, out of this list, I want you to tell me which one you would have chosen. So the first one of the proposals was send Fidel Castro a box of cigars, like a fun little present. But when he smokes them, they've laced him with something that would make him act really weird in public.
So they're not like poison.
No!
They just have like weed.
And it's gonna make him like act silly and everyone's gonna be like, ah, we hate that guy.
Here's the plan. We're gonna tank the Cuban economy by having Fidel Castro unilaterally order a bunch of brownies.
He's like, I'm hungry. Can we get 47,000 pizzas? Okay. Okay. Keep that one in your head. Okay.
Sure.
Remember.
Okay.
Another person said they wanted to give him some sort of drug that would make his beard, which is apparently his source of power, fall out. He's like a Cuban dictator Samson. They're like, okay, he's gotta be somehow magical, right? It's in his beard. Just give him something that's gonna make his beard fall out. It's not like make his hair fall out. It's specifically, without a beard, he'll look silly.
Okay, here's the plan, right? I have a prototype in my mind. We're going to combine these first two.
Okay,
right.
good.
We're going to send him a box of cigars. The cigars, about halfway down, are going to have a very small explosive in them.
Okay.
Right? And then they'll also have a capsule filled with Nair. So he smokes about half the cigar. He's talking to his buddies. And then you have the heat from the cigar gets to this minor explosive. And the cigar pops in his face. Ha!
Nair! In the beard!
And then he gets Nair all over his face. And then, I mean, okay, so it's got to be a really small capsule of Nair.
We don't want to get
inside of a cigar.
We don't want to get it on anyone else. We're not monsters.
It's going to fit inside of a cigar, right? So when it explodes, right, we know we're not going to get his whole beard because that's just not reasonable. But we will get enough patches. It's going to be real patchy. He's going to have like a checkerboard beard thing going on and no one will take him seriously.
No one. And then he'll be weak, just like us. And we can go and we can arrest him and then put him on trial like we did Samson in the Bible. This is a very Bible-based plan. We're right back to the Bible. They were like, what are you reading? Are you reading The Art of War? And they're like, kind of. And they just closed the Old Testament.
They read Machiavelli's The Prince. Didn't understand that it was a satire. And then they went and read the sequel, which is the King James Bible.
And then they wrote the movie based on these, Dumb and Dumber. Okay, so there's another plan for you. Okay, take it or leave it. They decided to leave it. They couldn't figure out how to get that nair in the cigars. Brigadier General William H. Craig. I'm naming names, okay? They need to be put on blast.
Yeah, cancel Brigadier General
William H. Craig. Okay,
canceled.
Willie Craig, he's the Defense Department representative to Mongoose, okay? Operation Mongoose, I forgot the first word. He's their representative.
I'm sorry, can you read that title for me again?
He's like the Lorax for Mongoose.
He has one mongoose that he has to protect. The whole State Department, just for making sure this one mongoose is okay.
Okay, Brigadier General William H. Craig, the Defense Department representative to Mongoose. He proposes something called Operation Free Ride. Which isn't... I thought the operations were supposed to be sneaky, but this is the plan. Let's airdrop free plane tickets to Mexico City.
What? Oh my god.
And everyone was like, okay, Bill, why? And he's like,
because then they'll leave.
If everyone's in Mexico City, then he has nobody to rule. Okay, yeah, no, I didn't think it through.
He accidentally drops round trip tickets.
So everyone just gets to go on a nice vacation.
You're welcome.
Also, like, then you'd have to go to an airport and the Cuban military would just be at the airport.
No, they wouldn't, because they would be on vacation.
He drops it in the barracks. And everyone's like, oh shit.
And these tickets are only good tomorrow.
We gotta go. They all pack
Come on,
their
boys,
bags.
let's scram.
I was gonna stay behind, but then I saw Castro, and honestly, he looked high. And I lost all
and
respect
his beard
for him.
had all these weird, like, patchy bald spots.
Listen, guys, I've lost respect. Okay, so... Oh, it says this is also him. Oh my god. Apparently Brigadier General William H. Craig, if my notes are to be believed, which maybe they aren't, but he also proposed Operation Good Times. He should not be allowed to name the operations.
Okay, so far, his operations have been, what is it?
It's only, this is
gas, grass, or ass?
Okay, he didn't have anything to do with the first ones, but also hilarious, and now he did. Spread that rumor, guys. William H. Craig, gas, grass, or ass?
No one gets a free ride except for everyone in Cuba.
Operation Free Ride. Okay, so then he was like, if you guys didn't like Operation Free Ride, you're gonna love Operation Good Times.
Ass.
This involved photoshopping pictures of a fat Fidel Castro having sex with multiple beautiful ladies in his house in front of a table filled with delicious food. And the caption underneath the picture, you know how all pictures have captions? It says, "My ration is different" in Cuban. And everyone was like, so you want us to take the people's hero and then show him fucking a bunch of really hot ladies? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, what do you think that'll do? Except make everyone on the street high-five each other and then hop on a plane to Mexico City. And he's like, you guys said you wanted to go psychologically. And you're like, we don't want them to make him think he's psychologically awesome.
I would like to propose another plan to you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, go ahead. Honestly, we're taking ideas. Anything goes. Okay. This is just the brainstorming phase. Okay, no wrong answers.
Right. Forge a bunch of fake love letters from Fidel Castro to every single citizen of Cuba. continue doing this over the course of several months in a progress that suggests a long and beautiful secret romance.
Yeah.
And then
You okay?
airdrop this picture of a Fidel Castro fucking away slaves. Everyone will be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Then airdrop the free tickets to Mexico. They can go do their Eat, Pray, Love finding themselves in Mexico City.
Okay, honestly, this is a joke, but, like, that's a really weirdly good idea. That's not, I mean, if we're in the realm of how silly all of these other plans are, that's genuinely brilliant.
Should I go into
1960s politics?
Yep. I'm a foreign policy genius.
No, if any dictators are listening to this, don't do that.
But also, you can go to my website. It's maxhigginsedits.com, and you can send me an email through my contact form. I am currently looking for employment, so if you want to... Also, you can't because I stopped paying for that website, so...
If you want to pay for that website for her and really solidify how you feel about her. Okay, so far, let's recap. We have cigars that make him silly.
Sure.
We have silly cigars.
Mm-hmm.
We have some sort of drug that makes his beer fall out. Beer.
Some sort of drug that makes him incontinent.
That would have worked out more than the beard falling out.
It really would have.
You're really good at the...
Thank you.
It's called elevation. Max is just yes-anding here. So, some sort of drug that makes his beard fall out, and then he looks stupid. So he was just bullying Fidel Castro. None of these are fatal.
I love the idea. Okay. In an alternate universe.
Okay.
They went with the Nair.
Yeah.
Probably better executed than with an exploding cigar. But they, like, decided to go for it. They slipped him a drug and made his beard fall out.
Yeah.
And then he looks really handsome without a beard, and everyone's like, oh my god, you're so handsome
that
under there.
jawline can cut glass.
And he gets even more support.
Oh my god. He has a whole arc that's just handsome Squidward. Oh man.
Oh no.
What?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fidel Castro, handsome Squidward. I have this brain problem where when things happen in the cadence of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song, my brain flags it, and it's like, hey, just so you know, you can sing this phrase to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song.
It is terminal. Send your thoughts and prayers. Send your thoughts and prayers and monetary donations to sortofthestory@gmail.com. Okay, so when they found out later, right, they're like, okay, we need a new plan. None of these plans are doing it. Oh, also, I forgot. Free ride, they're going to airdrop round-trip plane tickets, and Operation Good Times, they're going to Photoshop him being awesome. So they find out there's a toilet paper and sanitary napkin shortage in Cuba, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, we can do something with this. Hold on, there's a joke in here somewhere. That's what they're all thinking. They're like, come on, what's the punchline? Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, I don't have his name, but an Air Force Lieutenant Colonel. We'll put
Colonel
the whole...
Popcorn.
Yep, Colonel Sanders comes up with a plan to airdrop toilet paper into Cuba, but Fidel Castro and Nikita Khrushchev's face is printed on the toilet paper to, quote, drive Castro mad.
Okay, but this was also my first thought. I was like, oh, a toilet paper shortage? What if everyone was wiping their ass with his face?
We did that. We did that here in the States on, like, Times Square. You could buy toilet paper with, like, everybody's, like, any politician's face on it. Like,
yeah. What a weird way to be.
What a weird way to be. They're getting paid so much money. They are the top secret agents. The guy leading this is the American James Bond, and nothing has ever been more appropriate than the American James Bond leading, like, a fucking Jim Carrey movie. Okay. So they also, we're gonna get a little bit darker, okay? They're like, none of these silly plans are working. Let's go to stage 2. They decide to propose a false flag attack So a false flag operation, I got this from Wikipedia, this is the exact definition, is an act committed with the intent of disguising the actual source of responsibility and pinning blame on another party. The term false flag originated in the 16th century as an expression meaning an intentional misrepresentation of someone's allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
So the false flag attacks, there's several that were, proposed, including Operation Northwoods, which was submitted by General Lyman Lemnitzer on behalf of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Lime and lemon.
Lemon.
Sorry, lime lemon seltzer.
Lime lemon seltzer. Mr. Sprite, happy to see you. Okay, so Operation Northwoods proposed friendly Cubans, right? They're like, we have a bunch of these like Cubans who are living as refugees in the U.S. We have them attack Guantanamo Bay and sink an empty U.S. ship. And we say that there were people on it, and we make a huge news stories, and we post their pictures showing, like, proving Cubans did this. And we use that. They even said, if that doesn't work, if you don't like the idea of an empty ship and no casualties, they can just attack Florida. What if they just go to Miami and gun down a bunch of people and bomb a bunch of people in Miami? Like, actual U.S. citizens. And they said, and if that doesn't work, they can go to Washington and kill a bunch of citizens there. And then we could blame that on Castro, and that would provide, quote, justification for U.S. military intervention in Cuba.
So, here's the thing.
We do plan these. This is proof that the U.S. does have plans like this.
But Cuba didn't... I mean, as far as I know, Cuba didn't have plans to attack the U.S. until the U.S. started fucking with their shit. So the U.S. has decided, and also for their economic interests, is why the U.S. is interested in this, so that they can continue exploiting.
No, there weren't any attacks on American soil, so they couldn't outright declare war. And they were getting frustrated because we were attacking them on their soil constantly.
So we got in their business, and then they got mad at us, and then we got mad that they didn't get mad enough at us. So we were about to start punching ourselves in the face.
100%.
I just, like,
Yeah.
how, that's fucking evil. That is killing your own citizens for the economic gain of, like, the leaders of the country is...
Do you want to know how evil this is?
Yes.
They got this plan from Hitler starting World War II. On August 31st, 1939, Hitler sends Wehrmacht soldiers in Polish uniforms to attack a German radio station on the border with Poland. And that is how World War II started.
And, you know that that's a good plan because Hitler ended up on the right side of history.
It doesn't even matter because World War II was so fun. So, JFK...
If there's one thing that's always a winner, it's doing World War II and being Hitler.
Yeah, just, if you need to start anywhere, start with doing World War II. Okay, so JFK vetoes all of these plans. Everyone that comes around, he's like, guys, that's so fucked up. No, we're not doing a false flag operation. But he does want to kill Castro. He's like, I don't want to kill our own citizens, but I would like Castro dead. And so they decide to leave the murder plot up to a man named William King Harvey. He's described by Max Boot as, quote, the pistol-packing, martini-swilling CIA representative to Mongoose.
Oh, so this is the man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Just the two of them. Like, one very, like, straight-laced kind of fancy man classic person, and then one person who's just fucking off the rails playing his harmonica.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my god, I would watch that movie.
It's the man from U.N.C.L.E.
I've never watched that movie.
It's really good.
Yeah, but then I'd have to watch Armie Hammer, and I can't watch him without thinking of him chewing on little toes. Okay.
Yeah, we never really resolved that.
We never figured out if he is. So many things happened that him being a cannibal didn't even last.
Yeah, it's him and Henry Cavill, so I don't know.
What did Henry Cavill do? Besides being a creep. But, like...
Being a creep.
Oh, okay.
From what I've heard.
Well, that's not as bad as eating little toes.
I mean, it's a question of consent, I guess.
I guess. Okay. So...
I can't believe we as a society moved past Armie Hammer being a cannibal so quickly.
I feel like we moved past so many things. There was, like, a lot where I look back and I'm like...
Remember how there's UFOs now? Like, the U.S. government confirmed that there are, like, we have had contact with...
I want the CIA...
sentient and intelligent alien life.
This might end up getting this podcast erased from history. They're like, you can't erase things on the internet. And the CIA is like, watch it. Sort of the story's gonna be no more. But I would like to watch, in the next couple years, the CIA have to go through public, like, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard level publicity, like, court cases of all the people that were abducted by aliens that the CIA were like, oh, they're crazy! And then who, like, they gave them drugs to make their beards fall out, so everyone was like, ew, they're crazy. I wanna watch those court cases. I honestly don't give a fuck about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but I would watch that a million times over.
Yeah.
So, William King Harvey, he had been assigned by the White House to run a program known as ZRRIFLE, ZR Rifle. But it's, like, all one word, so, like, rifle. So, his program, what he decided to do, which he didn't tell Edward Lansdale he was doing this. They told him, hey, now you're secretly part of Operation Mongoose, but it's need to know. And he said out loud to everyone, Edward Lansdale doesn't need to know. He's the head of this operation. And now they have people coming in to undermine him and do plans that aren't approved under the name of his organization.
Wild.
Yeah. And so William King Harvey, he decides to use mobsters to murder Castro. And it doesn't fucking work. That's like one of those things, like, you think that they haven't tried that, you stupid fucking idiot? Castro is untouchable.
Oh my god.
And it doesn't work. And it's another failure under Operation Mongoose that Edward Lansdale gets blamed for.
Oh my god.
Because they want a fall guy. And it's Edward Lansdale. They've decided to not let him quit or kill himself. And to also blame everything on him. So, the CIA tried to start an insurrection uprising in Cuba, connecting with 15,000 Cuban refugees, supplying so many boats to go back and forth to Cuba with agents and supplies that it controlled the third largest navy in the Caribbean. That's how many they were sending out. They were like, this is how we're going to get to do this. We're going to take as many Cubans as we can and get them to do it. Like the Operation, like Bay of Pigs invasion, but bigger. And that doesn't fucking work either.
What? That's so crazy that didn't work. Again.
Again, that making it bigger wasn't the issue. So in 1962, tensions also, this is only like 1 year.
Oh my god.
All of this is happening in 1 year's time. In 1962, the tensions are super high and it's driving everyone crazy. So like Castro, I'm sure, is not bothered by any of this. He's like, I don't know, just like keep shooting at the shore, I guess. They keep sending people to the same spot on the beach.
Oh my god.
But also there's like a weird, somebody's trying to start a rumor that Jesus is mad at me and everyone's like, shut up. Obviously, that guy is not one of us. He's wearing high socks with sandals.
Hello, Cuban.
It's me. You can tell because I'm eating a banana and smoking a cigar. Get out of here.
I'm eating a Cuban sandwich, and that's how you know.
What is that?
I'm wearing Cuban-heeled shoes.
I brought my own bread from Subway back in America.
I mean, over in America where I've only been once to get bread? I don't know those guys.
What's America? And they're like, yeah, put him in jail with the other 1,100 people that came with the same weird story. So in 1962, tensions are super high, right? The U.S. is going crazy. Castro is fine. Bill Harvey and Bobby Kennedy are constantly getting into public fights. Like, loud arguments, screaming at each other, super unprofessional. Everybody knows they are starting to fight so much. And they're basically starting, as I mentioned, setting up Edward Lansdale to be the fall guy. They're like, that's it. We don't want to take blame for this. It wasn't us. It was him. He's the head of this operation. And the whole time he's like, guys, let's just tell them Jesus is mad. Also, I heard a rumor that Jesus is mad at us. Like, you didn't hear this from me, but... So... Then the Cuban Missile Crisis happens, which may have only happened because Nikita Khrushchev got intelligence about Operation Mongoose. And so in 1963, after they're like, we caused a bunch of bad stuff to happen and we didn't get anything done, they decided to disband Operation Mongoose, which is good. It was a stupid organization that did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Lansdale was basically publicly humiliated. Right after he lost his job in Operation Mongoose, his military career ended. He was fired from the Pentagon as a 2-star general. They're like, we don't want you anymore. And they like said it was because he was incompetent now. And he's like, oh my God. And he was later quoted as saying, I'm sorry I ever got mixed up in those Cuban things. Because Cuba was the end of his career. The entire time he was there, he wanted to get back to Saigon. He was like, listen, I left you guys pulled me out of Saigon, and it was kind of touchy there. I would like to get back to it because I knew what I was doing there and I have all these contacts and I spent years setting this up, and then you're pulling me out when they kind of need me there. It's bad. Okay, so the ending of his career here, though, means he's never consulted or listened to when it comes to dealing with Vietnam. Now, again, I am not on Lansdale's side for this at all, but this is just the chain of events that is happening. He had been largely in charge of getting Ngo Dinh Diem elected, the man from the beginning, right? So now he's president. And the Kennedys started to turn against him. They decided during Operation Mongoose, Ngo Dinh Diem is dealing with his own insurrections, right? They're trying to quash communism. That's the whole point. They hate communists. They want to quash it. They don't want it. So there was actually a communist uprising, a Buddhist uprising in Vietnam. And Ngo Dinh Diem violently destroyed them, right? And that was it. It was like he handled it poorly, obviously. But the Kennedys were like, hey, his actions and repression of this is too public. It's going to cost his government critical support in the war against communism, and that's going to affect us. And so Lansdale is telling them, like, hey, he's not perfect, but, the U.S. government isn't considering that if they pull him out, somebody else is going to jump back in, and we don't know those guys. We at least know this guy. Send me back, because I know this man. We actually all, as the U.S. government, agreed to meddle in these affairs. You can't just yank him out and let there be a power vacuum.
And then they did that in South America every time for 100 years.
Yeah, and then nobody's ever learned ever. History repeats itself constantly. Nope. So he's like, listen, Diem is obviously not perfect, but he's the best option available because he fought against communism and he fought against French colonialism. He has support from his country. Leave him there, stop meddling, basically. You've already meddled, now stop. His opponents were apparently super corrupt. All the ones that wanted to replace him, they had all served in the French military. So they were tainted and they were biased. Lansdale, this is a quote, he told the Kennedys, quote, don't play God by trying to pick a leader for Vietnam. When they already had a leader in place. Leave them alone. So on November 1st, 1963, the same day Lansdale was fired from the Pentagon, he was forcibly retired, there was an anti-Diem coup, and the president was captured and assassinated publicly. One military leader after another begins to replace each other in South Vietnam, destabilizing the country. North Vietnam is we were slowly invading, now we're gonna quickly invade. Now that there's a power vacuum, we're going in. This eventually, in 1965, led President Lyndon B. Johnson to send American troops to South Vietnam in what was arguably one of the United States' most embarrassing public failures. And this is the last quote in Max Boot's article. Quote, Lansdale was left to watch this slow-motion tragedy unfold as a powerless spectator, a prophet without honor, his career having been ruined and his reputation tarnished by his inglorious association with Operation Mongoose. And that is how we went from meddling in Vietnam to doing truly embarrassing things in Cuba to starting the Vietnam War.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Just absolute series of incompetencies.
The U.S. was just a bunch of mean girls bullying Fidel Castro. By the way, he stayed in power until he was old, then he gave it to his brother, and then he died an old man. He was fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild.
Wow.
Wild, right? Isn't that
wow.
I was giggling and screaming last night. Now every new plan was worse and worse.
It's like watching a bunch of people line up on a long, long staircase, and then the person at the top falls backwards, and then they run into the person behind them, and they all just keep falling down, and you keep thinking someone's going to catch them, but they all just keep falling backwards until everyone is upside down on the stairs, and then they all try and get up, but in the process they keep tripping each other and falling down further until there's nobody left on the stairs and everyone is in a broken pile of bones at the bottom of the stairs. Yeah. That's U.S. foreign policy.
It's like their U.S. is chasing Fidel Castro and he's just throwing banana peels.
But also not even throwing them to stop the U.S. He's just eating bananas and throwing the peels, and the U.S. is like, how does this keep happening?
Or, I'm sorry, Fidel Castro actually has nothing to do with it. It's that one guy trying to start rumors in Cuba who's eating bananas to prove he's Cuban, and he's dropping them and tripping his own military. Like,
my God.
Just the image of Fidel Castro being fine. Like, they're trying all of these things, and he's just like leading his country and doing his thing. Again, I'm not on Fidel Castro's side. He was a dictator, right? But, like, it's just, he was a Marxist and a Leninist. You shouldn't be that. But also, genuinely hilarious that he was not affected by this.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, history repeats itself.
What a bumble.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for listening, guys. Go like and subscribe and ring that bell and
ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong.
Ring-a-ling-a-ding-that, ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong. And rate us, rate and review. It helps us.
Yeah.
And have a great day.
Have a good one, guys.
Oh my God. Bye.